It's here, y'all. It is here. NBA free agency is here. And boy, has there been a lot of moves that have been going on throughout this entire weekend. First and foremost, what's up with these news around the Golden State Warriors? You got Draymond Green declining his player option of that around $27 million. And all of a sudden, your boy goes on Twitter. I'm searching, I'm going through all over the web, and I see him quote tweet Shams Charania's tweet, apparently to tune in to the Draymond Green show. Could there be some possible action? Could there be some action where we see LeBron James headed to Golden State? Look, Lakers got some work to do, man. DeAndre Ayton, he opted into his player option as we expected. We expected him to opt into that $8 million player option. Now there is more news that Marcus Smart, he declined his player option, which once again, we all expected Marcus Smart to do so, to decline his player option because he felt like the market for him was going to be a lot more valuable than just opting into that $5 million player option for the Los Angeles Lakers. So there's teams that are interested in Marcus Smart. Hence, guess who that team is? It is the Houston Rockets. There has been reports that the Houston Rockets are looking in to give Marcus Smart a multi-year deal to join their squad. And guess what? The Rockets, they seen what they saw out of Marcus Smart. Marcus Smart won the Lakers a couple games in that series against the Houston Rockets. So the Rockets are looking at that to add more to their bench, to add more to their guys, because with Van Vliet out, they're looking at, okay, we need someone else who can take charge of this Rockets team. And that will be a big loss for the Lakers. I'm telling you guys right now. If Marcus Smart were not to return to the Los Angeles Lakers, that would be a big miss for the Lakers and for Rob Pelinka, because Marcus Smart led charge. Marcus Smart was very, very vocal when it came to this Lakers team. On the defensive end, Marcus Smart brought a lot out of guys, especially DeAndre Ayton, a guy that he was in charge of, a guy that he took underneath his wing, a guy that he was able to control and able to get the most out of him on a night in and night out basis. And you're telling me there's a possibility that the Lakers will not be in contention and Marcus Smart is going to be able to go sign with another team, let alone it's going to be a team in the Western Conference in the Houston Rockets? Lakers have work to do. So I kind of been around a little bit. I brought up the idea of the Golden State. I brought up the idea of LeBron James possibly going there. So we're going to start off with that. So we talked about DeAndre Ayton. We talked about how he opted in. Honestly, to me personally, doesn't mean much. Fully expected that. The Lakers still need their 1A center to put around Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves. So DeAndre Ayton, good. Opted in, fine. We expected that. But you still have work to do. You still have to try to find that 1A center. Don't know who that name is. All right. Before I get to LeBron James, since I'm on a DeAndre Ayton topic and discussion, here are some names. All right. If you want to just look at free agency alone, here are some names. All right. You have Mitchell Robinson. All right. But is Mitchell Robinson your day-to-day, everyday starter? Probably not. Mitchell Robinson being a role player like he was doing for the New York Knicks, giving Karl-Anthony Towns some rest, that is ideal what you want for Mitchell Robinson. You do not want to sign him starting caliber money if he's not that starting caliber 1A center that you need to put around Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves. So that's one name that I look at as, okay, could this be a possibility? Yes, for sure, because he's an unrestricted free agent. But that's not the 1A ideal center the Lakers need. Another name that's been floated around, which a lot of teams have interest in this guy, is Robert Williams. Is Robert Williams another guy that can be another center for this Lakers team? But is he your day-to-day starting big man? No, he's not. Robert Williams, as a role player to give guys rest, different story. And by the way, when it comes to both of those guys, what is the one thing that we look at? Injuries. They can't stay healthy. They are never available when it comes time to be available. And that's what the Lakers do not need when it comes to keeping guys healthy, because Luka Doncic has been dealing with injuries. Austin Reeves has been dealing with injuries. So that 1A center isn't really, really out there. But that's where hopefully we can see some scenarios of the Lakers possibly going in and being in a trade, being in that 3-team trade, maybe a 4-team trade. Could the Lakers find a way to get a 1A center like that? So, once again, talked about DeAndre Ayton and how he opted into his player contract, which was fully expected. We talked about Marcus Smart, how he declined his player option and how that looked for the Lakers. And if they do not return him, is Luka Doncic going to be satisfied with that? Is Luka Doncic going to be upset that the Lakers, weren't not able to retain and get Marcus Smart back on this Lakers team? Could that be another issue with the Lakers? By the way, him going to the damn Houston Rockets, if that happens, it's tough because that means the teams in your Western Conference are only going to get better. So, let's slow this down. As I sip, I take a little sip of my water because we're here, right? By the way, we're here at the Pizza Content Studio. If you guys have not noticed, a brand new Pizza Content Studio. It is off the chain. Your boy doesn't have to worry about lighting or any of that stuff, man. By the way, thank you guys so much for tuning in today for, the steps of getting into the NBA free agency, which starts tomorrow at 3 p.m., I believe. So, Lakers portion, LeBron James, all right? Now we know, has there been any conversations when it came to LeBron James and the Lakers? Reports are saying no. There really has not been much conversations centered around LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers in regards to contract negotiations, as far as how the team is going to look, as far as what they're going to put around them. There has been no conversations whatsoever heading into NBA free agency per reports that we have been seeing. And remember how we threw the idea and the possibility of, is LeBron James going to return to the Lakers? Or is he going to go back home to Cleveland? And we always had that team, the Golden State Warriors, in the back of our mind as a possibility, correct? Well, guess what? That possibility just grew even more. Once again, per reports from Shams Charania, Golden State Warriors forward Draymond Green is declining his $27.7 million player option to become a free agent. This move gives the Warriors flexibility to pursue LeBron James in free agency and Anthony Davis via trade to form a big four. So all of a sudden, I was going on shows. I was on the DeMarco and Travis afternoon show. We were all discussing it. I said, I don't see the real possibility of LeBron James going to Golden State. It just doesn't. Golden State. It doesn't make sense. It does not make sense for him. It does not make sense for Golden State. Like, why would he do that? To pair alongside just him and Steph Curry? What is the rest of that Golden State Warriors roster going to look like? And plus, what do we always talk about? How he has built his home out here in LA. As far as not wanting to move, all those stuff that stuff takes in consideration as far as what LeBron James is possibly thinking if he were not to return to the Lakers, correct? But then more news just starts to come as far as, it's not just going to be LeBron James, it's going to be Anthony Davis in regards to a trade for Jimmy Butler, a couple picks to the Washington Wizards for the Warriors to get Anthony Davis. All right. And so Shams doubled down and said the opt-out comes days after the Warriors said they expect Green to pick up his $27.7 million option. Instead, Draymond Green delivers Golden State time and space to pursue Davis with the Wizards and convince LeBron James to join Steph Curry and Green and his old Lakers championship teammate in the Bay. So not only we have worries about LeBron James leaving, he's going to go to the Golden State Warriors and pair it up potentially alongside Anthony Davis with Stephen Curry and Draymond Green. So now if the Lakers don't retain LeBron James, which I look at this and I really do. I look at this as a win-win situation. All right. Win as far as if LeBron James were to return to Lakers, good. It makes sense for him. It makes sense for the Lakers. Why? Well, first and foremost, LeBron James, you look at that free agency list, he's he's in the top 5 as far as names in the free agency. So it makes sense as far as that. Also, you kind of had that gear where you have that what if factor. What if Luka Doncic were to be healthy? What if Austin Reeves were to be fully healthy? The Lakers team is rolling in the month of March. This Lakers team is trying to find chemistry heading into the playoffs, but injuries took a toll on them. So we never got to see Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, and LeBron James fully to their strengths. Now it's just all how can we put the right pieces around them. So that's why I look at it as a win on that side. But you know what the other win is that if he were to leave, guess what happens? Your clock starts. Your clock starts with Luka Doncic. You can finally put the LeBron James narrative and all that stuff to rest and actually start to put teams, a right team around Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves. Not saying you can't do it with LeBron James. Let me make that clear. I'm not saying you can't do that, but the possibility is even more because the cap space is a lot more than LeBron James coming back and whatever value the Lakers do see LeBron James at. But as of right now, and every single thing that we have been seeing tied around this Lakers team, there has been no plan from what I have been seeing. All right. There has been no real solutions to everything that has been going on, which things can happen over the course of this night. There might be someone on the move that we don't expect, but every single thing that we have been seeing so far centered around the Lakers, it really hasn't been splashing news. We haven't really seen any. There's a possibility Lakers can try to go out and get this guy. There's a possibility Lakers can try to go out and make a trade or make a deal here. There really has not. And what's the worst part is that the Lakers have $45 to $50 million in projected cap space. And that is with Austin Reeves signing his contract after free agency. But just looking at the names now is that this is your Lakers team. Luka Doncic, Marcus Smart opted out. He declined his player option. So right now you're looking at Luka, Austin Reeves, DeAndre Ayton. What are they going to do with Nick Smith Jr.? He's on a team option. You got Cameron Carr. You got Dalton Connect. You got Jake LaRavia. You got Adu Thiel. And then you got Bronny James. Whether they're going to make a deal with him or not, or whether they're going to bring him back, they can probably who knows? They could try to waive him. Who knows what the Lakers are going to be doing with that? But you're telling me that is how your team is kind of looking right now. Is Luka, AR, Vanderbilt, Ayton, Nick Smith Jr., which he's on a team option, Cameron Carr, Dalton Connect, Jake LaRavia, and Adu Thiel. And let it alone, these are your free agents. LeBron James, your free agent is Rui Hachimura. Can the Lakers even afford Rui Hachimura? Because guess what? There is news that there's teams willing to make a deal with Rui Hachimura. I saw the Brooklyn Nets name popped up. The Brooklyn Nets have interest in him. I also saw a report that the San Antonio Spurs are interested in Rui Hachimura. So all these teams are going here and they're looking at it because can Lakers even afford to bring these guys back? But I don't know. Maybe it's just me and maybe just the way how this offseason is starting to look. It's not looking ideal. And it's not looking like what we really want this Lakers team to do. So to kind of read some more stuff into this YouTube chat. By the way, thank you guys for tuning in today on Lakers Talk Daily on this NBA free agency special. Ruben says, I think Marcus Smart for sure doesn't want to come back if LeBron James doesn't want to come back. All right. Peter, my guy Peter, who I love, says, Bron better not take less money playing with the Warriors than the Lakers. LA fans will boo his ass back to Cleveland. Now, Peter, to add into more to what you said, all right, as far as Bron better not take less money. He has no choice but to take less money if he were to leave the Lakers, all right? because of the way that their salary cap situation is. Draymond Green, he will get a multi-year deal. If LeBron James and that deal with Anthony Davis, the trade with Jimmy Butler and some picks were to be complete, in order to make salaries work and all that stuff, if LeBron James does decide to go there, he will be at the mid-level exemption rate. That, $15 million rate? That's where he will be at. So that's why he would have to take less money. Now, I hear what you're saying. I hear what you were saying as far as why can't he take less money being with the Los Angeles Lakers if that is really his true goal of being paired up alongside Stephen Curry and Anthony Davis. But he is looking at it as, if I'm going to take less money, what is this team going to look like? Who are you going to put around us to make sure that we are at a championship level contention? We understand that the Lakers had success in that second half of the regular season. We understand LeBron James being that third highest usage rate guy. With Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves had a lot of success. But we have to be realistic as regards to this team cannot contend with OKC and San Antonio right now with how the roster is going to look. So that is probably why LeBron James is looking at it as like, if I go to Golden State, I know I got a guy in Stephen Curry. I know I got my guy in Anthony Davis. And I know I got my guy in Draymond Green. Those are all his boys. Draymond Green is his boy. He's looking at it as a probably, in his eyes, it's an opportunity for him to play alongside his guys. And they're putting the team, because Draymond Green doing that, which everyone was caught by surprise, guess what? The Warriors still have a little bit more wiggle room to add to their bench. So he's looking at it as this team, in his eyes, if he does that, is better than this current Lakers team, is what LeBron James is telling himself. I think that's where we have to keep our eyes on. Now, to read more in here, David says, hopefully we have a chance at Lou Dort. And honestly, if the Lakers were to get Lou Dort, remind you guys, once again, he is on a team option. All right. Lou Dort is on a team option. And by the way, Isaiah Hartenstein is intending to sign an extension with the Oklahoma City Thunder. That is what he is intending on doing. And that was one big man where I was like, I'm going to keep my eyes on. I'm going to keep my eyes on whether Isaiah Hartenstein and OKC, if they're able to make that deal work, if he's able to be a free agent and be able to be on the market. Hell, if he even were on the market. But he got paid. He's returning to OKC. They're giving him an extra, I believe, couple years. I'm trying to find it real quick as my page is currently loading. But Isaiah Hartenstein is going to be back with Oklahoma City Thunder. So that was a 1A type of big man that I felt like would be perfect alongside Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves. But that's one already off the market. OKC made sure they got him taken care of and that he does not have to deal with heading into free agency. All right? But the Lakers were to get Lou Dort. And remind you, Oklahoma City and Isaiah Hartenstein intend to sign a new 3-year contract to return to the Thunder through 2028 and 2029. That brings his total earnings with the franchise at 5 years, $134 million guaranteed. So I did the math. I'm like, that's roughly around $26, $27 million per year. And I'm like, damn, that's a good rate. Lakers potentially could have done $26 to $27 million per year. I'm like, Isaiah Hartenstein for that rate, but OKC, once again, he felt like they want to run it back. They feel like they're right there. They feel like they have the same team, the same roster construction. I don't think that they're going to just let Lou Dort go. I have a strong feeling that they're going to make that deal work. They're going to bring him back because by them trading Aaron Wiggins, and by them trading Isaiah Joe, all of a sudden OKC just opened up a little more cap space. So that's why they're able to make deals work with Isaiah Hartenstein. And that's why they're most likely going to make a deal work with Lou Dort. So I don't see the possibility of Lou Dort coming to Los Angeles Lakers to answer David's question. And to see, we got Greg Bergman in the YouTube chat. Shout out Greg Bergman. Would you try to outbid the Nuggets for Peyton Watson and wait for them? No. I would not try to wait on the Denver Nuggets as far as the Peyton Watson and try to outbid them. And this is the reason why. Because by the Lakers doing that, the Nuggets have a 48-hour window to respond to that. So by the Lakers waiting on to see if the Denver Nuggets are going to match whatever the offer sheet is for the Los Angeles Lakers, or if they want to offer more, the Lakers are going to be in a waiting period for Denver to do that. And by that happening, guess what? Other guys and other teams are being proactive, and that means that the Lakers are waiting on something that could not happen, and they're missing out on trying to acquire other pieces around this team. So that's why I feel like they should not be playing the waiting game and try to outbid the Denver Nuggets, because the Lakers can offer him this, and guess what happens? The Denver Nuggets can throw another offer sheet right here to where it puts Lakers out of contention to even getting a guy like Peyton Watson. And I would love that is the ideal fit that you want to have. Long, athletic, wing, can shoot the three ball, defends really well, block shots really well. His game is only elevated as well on the offensive end of the basketball floor. But you can't try to wait on someone that is not a guarantee. Lakers got to be proactive. They have to be able to find some sort of way. Every single team that we are looking at right now, as far as in the Western Conference, they're proactive. They're making deals. They're doing everything. Now, Lakers got the deal done on Austin Reeves. That was something that needed to happen because they needed to jump on it right away, or else who was walking at the door, creeping at the door, waiting right there? The Detroit Pistons. So we need to start seeing more ways of what are the Lakers going to be doing to take initiative to make sure that they are building the right team. I named all those centers. You know, I can't, I'm going to be butchering this name. Ross Azell said, what center should Lakers get, in my opinion? I named two. That would be ideal as far as rotational guy. If this guy were to be on the market, and say if they were to try to trade him, which there have been reports that the Dallas Mavericks might, remember, this is from reports, might try to trade Daniel Gafford if they get something good in return. That could be an ideal center for Luka Doncic, a real lob threat, guy that runs hard to the basket, block shots, really, really athletic. That's the type of guy that you want around your team. Well, guess what? Daniel Gafford has not been healthy. So that's why this free agency market is tough. So there could be the scenario of the Lakers trying to make a trade. I think if they want to get that 1A center, the best move and the best deal to make is to try to make a trade. Maybe they do have to unload on one of those picks and try to package them with a player or something. But Dallas is going to probably want a lot after what went down after getting Luka Doncic, just like my boy Brian in the YouTube chat said. So to kind of slow it down a little bit, we talked about LeBron James. We talked about the possibility of him going to Golden State, which none of us thought would be even a possibility. But Draymond Green doing that, making things happen to create some cap space, that can be a scenario right now. So we're looking at a potential Marcus Smart not returning to the Lakers. And we're looking at a potential right now, how it's looking, LeBron James not returning to the Lakers. Those two guys that realistically, when we're talking about running it back, those are two of your main guys as far as running it back. And they could be on the move. So what's the counter? What are Lakers going to do next if those two guys were to be on the move? And the free agency market not really moves as far as to make this a championship level team. So other news in this free agency. So I talked about the Isaiah Hartenstein and him going back to OKC. You guys brought up Lou Dort in the YouTube chat, so we discussed that. Now there's news centered around the Clippers, and if Kawhi Leonard could be on the move. Kawhi Leonard could be going to either the Toronto Raptors or it could be seeing himself returning back to the San Antonio Spurs. That is another thing that has been on on the looks. Also with the whole Jaylen Brown situation, the Bucks trying to be in that. Milwaukee trying to make salaries work and trying to see what kind of haul they can get if they were to trade Giannis to the Boston Celtics. That didn't work out, but there's news sent around that Jaylen Brown could potentially be on the move. So you got to look at that. The Minnesota Timberwolves, they did their deal. They got LaMelo Ball. They brought him over to the Minnesota Timberwolves. They paired him alongside Anthony Edwards because the Timberwolves felt like they needed more help to get the ball out of Anthony Edwards' hands to kind of get him a rest. They need a true point guard. So the Timberwolves are making moves. The Thunder are making moves. All right. San Antonio, they hit on 2 draft picks, 2 6'10" draft picks. Their roster is still complete. Minnesota is active. They're feeling like that was a win now mode. All right. The Rockets with Marcus Smart, they're feeling like they're in a win now mode. All right. If they try to get Marcus Smart, Fred VanVleet's coming back. They're going to get a healthy Kevin Durant. They still got their young core, Amin Thompson, Jabari Smith Jr. They're still going to be in the way. All these teams in the Western Conference, I'm telling you guys right now, are only going to get better. I just really want to see. I can't wait for tomorrow. And you guys really have to be excited because I just want to know, like, what is that move that Lakers can make to turn this into a championship level caliber team? Because how it's looking right now, there ain't no way in hell that they're just going to be championship level contention. To read some more stuff in the YouTube chat as we close out Lakers Talk Daily today. And by the way, thank you guys once again so much for tuning in to Lakers Talk Daily. Reading in, going through it, and saying, Ruben says, yeah, that's why you got to deal directly with Denver and work out a sign and trade to avoid the waiting game. All right. And then Brian said, Luka wanted AR, so that's on him, but he'll see that it won't work and probably leave in a couple of years. You guys have been really big, not big, but you guys have really been on it in regards to Luka Doncic. And if Rob Pelinka and this Lakers front office, they don't acquire the right pieces around Luka Doncic, that you guys can see him leaving. I don't know if I see him leaving. I don't really see that scenario of him leaving as of right now. But I kind of see where you guys are coming at as far as if we're going to keep on having the same problems every single offseason, calling it the biggest offseason, but we're seeing the same type of roster construction, then of course frustration brews and things happen. But that's why you add in the new Dodgers ownership group to make sure that we're not doing a repeated cycle that we have been seeing these past couple of years. When you really look at it, has this Lakers team has really been the same over the past couple of years. Think about it. When they got Dorian Finney-Smith and they were able to make that trade, okay, it worked out, but they had the small ball lineup, which it didn't end up working in their favor. You can even date back when they had Russell Westbrook. They got D'Angelo Russell. D'Angelo Russell comes back. Lakers make a good playoff run. They lose in the Western Conference Finals. Then they try to trade D'Lo. Then they got him back. Then they trade him again. And it's like, okay, they get Dennis Schroeder. Then they get him back. They trade him again. And then he brings him. It's like we're doing the same repeated cycle. And that's why I hear you guys as far as the excitement you see with Luka Doncic, and you have a generational superstar like that. You want to try to put a team, because you have a generational superstar like that who can take a team to a championship, because we've seen it with our own eyes when he was with the Dallas Mavericks. But guess what? They had the right team around him. And that's what we just keep on coming back to. Whew. This is crazy. The news are just going to keep on coming out more and more as we approach tomorrow when NBA free agency starts. But this is it. Can the Lakers find that 1A center? All right. Can they find that 1A center? Let's just get off a checklist. And this is going to be the checklist heading into tomorrow. All right. Marcus Smart declined his $5.4 million player option. All right. What are they going to do? What is the market looking like for Marcus Smart? Are the Lakers going to try to bring him back? What is the goal? What is the process? DeAndre Ayton opted into his $8.1 million player option. He's opting in. All right. Took care of that. That's fine. We expected it. Got a team option on Nick Smith Jr. All right. What is the goal? Are you going to bring back Rui Hachimura? There's teams that are having mutual interest for him. I listed the Brooklyn Nets. I listed the San Antonio Spurs. Teams are going to be in the market for Rui Hachimura because he has a market for what he has done for the Lakers, especially this last postseason run that he had. Then, what are the conversations looking like for LeBron James? What is the goal? Why are you if you're bringing him back? What are you presenting the plan for him? What players are you looking at? How are you going to try to acquire those guys? What trade scenarios can you do? Are you going to be able to offload some picks to acquire someone to enhance this roster? The Lakers got work to do, man. I'm telling you guys right now. But it's been a good one. Feels good to be back. Lakers Talk Daily will be back on Wednesday at 11 a.m. right here on the ESPN LA YouTube channel. So be on the lookout for that. Go ahead, tweet at me. You guys can go ahead and tweet at me on Twitter at Deondre_Hawkins. You guys will find me on there. You guys got questions. You want to throw out different scenarios, trades, whatever the case is, free agencies. You guys have potential guys you think the Lakers should target. Throw them out there. This is what we're here for. Throw them out there on the YouTube channel, all of that. We were going to react to everything that is happening through this NBA free agency special. But for myself, thank you guys so much. Once again, I will be seeing you guys on Wednesday at 11 a.m. right here on the ESPN Los Angeles YouTube channel. For my guy, Tim in the back, as always, I appreciate him. Appreciate him always running down the operation. Free agency is here, man. What are the Lakers going to do? It's not looking good right now. I will be talking to you guys on Wednesday. Your boy's out.